Are the security features on platforms like Deliveroo, Uber Eats and Just Eat currently up to scratch? Are they up to standard? That's a question that I've been asking for a long time. And the Express has done a small video, which I would like to watch with you guys now and react to it with lots of different couriers' opinions. I think there's some quite interesting things in there. It'd be quite good to watch through it together and leave some comments down below what you guys think, but I'll react as well.
Since doing our investigation into how asylum seekers working for delivery companies such as Deliveroo and Just Eat, we've been contacted by lots of couriers working for those first to tell us just how easy it is to get around some of the security features. Now, one of those is Deliveroo's facial recognition system, but if you go to an account holder who will scan their face at the start of the day, you can then just use the account as much as possible. So we're just going to show just how easy that is. Log us in, please, mate. It's as easy as that. I could now go off and do a full day's worth of delivery.
So this is something that I feel I can comment on quite a lot, because it's something that I brought up the last time I went for a meeting with Deliveroo with the union. My exact words were that the system has become laughable within the courier community. And I stand by that, quite frankly, because how easy is it to basically get the person who's renting the account, scan their face, and then give it to somebody and they can drive all day long. It's far too predictable. I understand that the software is good. It does work quite well from what I can see. However, the predictability of it is unreal. And what we asked for in the last meeting was for them to have this initial daily scan, but on top of that, randomized scanning throughout the day. So after every third order, maybe a scan, maybe log people offline periodically. Just make it more random so it's less predictable, so it's less easy for people to get around like this.
Deliveries. So Just Eat say that they've got a load of security measures to stop illegal drivers from accessing the platform. One of them is the facial recognition, which comes up on this page, and the way around it is as simple as swiping back like that.
To be honest with you, this one is actually new to me. I didn't know that you could just swipe back to get out of this part of the thing. But from my point of view, the security system on Just Eat is, quite frankly, a complete joke. They periodically have this thing where you scan your face and upload your passport or your driving license, but you can just simply press "I'll do it later." I have done it a handful of times when I've just had time to do it, but it seems very strange that you can just press "I'll do it later," and every now and then, maybe once every 2 or 3 months, it'll bring up the just face scanning software. The last time I did it, actually, it didn't recognize my face for a couple of times, so it just doesn't seem to be working to me. It's very random, very like, oh, we'll do it when some pressure's being applied. That's what I see, at least.
So my average jobs when I first started, you were talking £9 to £10. Now, a lot of the jobs you get offered are £2.75. Any driver who sees a job that comes up on the phone for £2.75, we can't make money off that. And it's been driven by the fact that other people will accept those jobs. Now, if you have people who are no overheads, they're not paying tax, and all this stuff, it's just pure profit for them.
Imagine the minimum wage is $12.50. So I need to do 5 jobs just to get to this $12.50. In some cases, you wait 20 minutes to pick up the order. So what, do 2 jobs for £5? And then I have insurance, I have petrol, I have taxes, because I do pay my taxes. So yeah, you just can't win at the moment.
So this is a big one that I'm hearing at the moment a lot, and it's something that really frustrates me, is that the way that these companies work is that the algorithms actually are looking at what people are willing to accept, and they are price matching to that sort of level. So that means that if 100 drivers are all rejecting the same order because it's a rate that's too low, the algorithm's going to automatically start pushing that rate up. And at the moment, what we've got is this situation where drivers with low or no overheads, who are just pocketing whatever money comes their way, are dragging this algorithm down because they are, as that person said, just accepting every single order. So these companies, if they know that somebody's going to take a job that they would have paid £5 for maybe a year ago, but somebody's willing to take it for £4, obviously they are going to start offering it out at an even lower rate than £4 to see if they can maybe get it lower. So it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy where it's, you know, people are taking it for less than they were before, so it offers it for less. And then because people are taking it for the lesser amount again, they offer it for a less again, until it's going to get to the point where every single job is going to come to the minimum of what the algorithm will allow.
The biggest reason is illegals. Before, I was taking jobs from 5 miles away. Now I have to go to near to a restaurant to get job, because all illegals are staying at restaurant. They're taking every job except.
So there's no travel distance to the store that they pay you for. That basically they get all the jobs out of that store.
The algorithm sees this, so prices goes down. My monthly earnings 4 years to now, it goes half.
I've actually seen a worker from a shop scan his face in for somebody so that they can continue working, because they're making profit on it. They rent out their accounts.
So this is a really good point. And it's something that I'm quite confused, frankly, that none of the newspapers really have touched on at all. The government really haven't made any comment on as well, is that there are people out there that are just making profit every single month by renting out their accounts illegally. I don't really get how nobody's really shining a light on this, because there are people out there, I know, I've heard of instances where people are making up to £100 a week by renting accounts. So that's you know, it's £5,200 per year. And I mean, that's a large amount of money for just scanning your face once a day, isn't it? And you got to think as well, if these people have got an Uber Eats, a Just Eat and a Deliveroo account, and they're willing to rent all of them, that's more than 15 grand a year. And then you've got to think as well, what if that person's got a partner and they've gotten them to sign up to all the accounts? That makes it 30 grand a year. What if that person's got a big family and they've got multiple people in their family to open up accounts? And as you can see, over time, and if you get convince more people to sign up for accounts and you rent out their accounts, even if you're paying that person a little bit of money to do the scan, say maybe a tenner a week, there's a lot of, I think there's people out there making a lot of money, as well as I think there's a lot of people that are holding onto a lot of accounts, or being what I call account masters, who are driving around scanning, getting people to scan faces and then giving them out to people on bicycles normally, and then paying them £5 an hour. So there's also a lot of exploitation going on as well.
I'm being used to be very good. I'm being very happy, you know. I'm working 8-9 hours, I make money, you know, and I'm paying my taxes well, you know. But now, no chance, you know. It's very hard, very hard.
Like, I'm coming the legal way. If I have a criminal history, it's known. You can find me. You don't know what they've done. These guys don't have a face, so this is serious problem. These people have access to children. They have access to people, to their homes. So yeah, it needs to be changed.
This again is another really good point. Anybody that works on these platforms has generally been DBS checked, so the platforms know who they are, so they know that they've not got a criminal record. Same with any legal substitute, so anybody that's legally signed up their substitute to the system, they've all gone for a DBS check as well. But anybody that's renting an account illegally, there's potential that they could be anybody. You know, it could be somebody that's just come out of jail for having raped somebody or murdered somebody or anything like that. And obviously these people should not be having access to people's personal data, as well as you know, the knowledge of where people are living. So that's quite scary in my opinion.
You've been complaining to a lot of people. What's the response that you tend to get?
Just a basic shut door in your face. They do not want to know.
I've spoken to the police multiple times to try and ask if they can help. We always get told the same thing, that you don't need to speak to us. It's Border Force and the Home Office. I've spoken to a lot of the stores. They can't do anything. They're still stuck because they reach out to Just Eat and explain the situation. They get told there's going to be more identity checks.
Companies also ignoring us because they are happy like this. They are paying less money. They know how it works. They know illegals doing this job. They just don't want to think about it.
The people that do win, though, are Deliveroo, Just Eat, that suddenly got...
Yeah,
Right,
100%. Yeah, yeah. I can say to any of them, they know exactly what they're doing. You see their shares go up. They have more restaurants working for them. They have the monopoly as well, which you can either do it on your own or you need to pick one of these companies. So it's basically monopoly.
And that's another very good point. They have gotten to the point now where they're so large that they have got somewhat of a monopoly. Because I have thought myself about maybe trying to go out by myself and start my own delivery company, or even just as a self-employed person, just, you know, by myself, just deliver to people. But, you know, like these people, they've got contracts with all of the big chains. So I think it would make it very, very difficult to go against them. And plus, you know, like Uber, for example, on their taxi side, are extremely aggressive about shutting down basically small firms and independent businesses and family-run businesses. From what I can see, their business model within like the taxi sector, which I think would, if people started to rise up, I think they do the same sort of thing, is that they essentially undercut the normal taxi firms, and then they pay the drivers much more than the normal taxi firm can afford. So, you know, there's like this big gap where, you know, the customer's getting the low fees, the rider is getting a really good fee, and then when they've got the monopoly over a town, what happens is this happens. And I think that would be the same thing we're happy on food delivery as well. If we all started rising up and trying to make our own food delivery firms, these massive, great big companies that have got all these resources will simply just, you know, if we manage to get a footing in a town, they'll just find a way to push us out of the town again. But anyway, let me know in the comments what you guys think.